Transmitter device activated. Coordinates set for Earth 2.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Earth 2 podcast, your weekly exploration of the DC Comics multiverse and the legacy of their Golden Age characters through the Silver and Bronze Ages of comics. I'm Peter Watson.
And I'm David Steele. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Now, this one's been percolating away, bubbling away in the background, awaiting our attention for a little while. It's a long time since we've done a Wonder Woman story, isn't it, Peter?
Very true. We did a lot of them in the early days.
Yes.
She was always finding duplicates of herself and going to parallel universes and dimensions.
Yeah. Latterly, of course, we've really just seen her as a member of the Justice League. There was that period, I think roughly between issue 212 and 220 odd, when over basically a 2-year period, her comic was another team-up book because Wonder Woman was trying to get back into the Justice League. So every month or every other month, we got a story featuring her in either Aquaman or Red Tornado or the Atom or the Phantom Stranger or Black Canary or Green Arrow or whoever.
Mm-hmm.
That strikes me as, for such a prolonged period of time, a fascinating thing to do with that book where she wasn't just having regular adventures.
Yes.
It makes you wonder what the sales were like at this point, and that's what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And Peter and I are now about to commence our coverage of another era of the Wonder Woman comic, where it, again, is a little bit different from the norm in as much as it doesn't feature, by now, the standard default Earth 1 Wonder Woman. We're beginning, starting today with issue 228, we're beginning the period when the Wonder Woman comic book shifts its setting to World War II on Earth 2. Isn't that right, Peter?
It most certainly is, and I'm very excited for it.
Yes, me too, because there's a lot of really interesting stories coming up. A few guest appearances from quite a few members of the JSA, which we're looking forward to. Logan is on standby, if that gives you an indication of who might be turning up. We need to ask Ross, actually, to record some lines. I don't know if Ross knows this yet, so Ross, you're on standby. We'll probably have to get Steve and Gavin to do some as well.
I would imagine.
So why does Wonder Woman shift to World War II on Earth 2 with issue 228? Well, basically, listeners, on the 12th of May 1974, I think it was ABC in America, showed a Wonder Woman TV pilot which starred Kathy Lee Crosby.
Yes.
Where she had blonde hair and a uniform that looked more like Captain America than anything else. Didn't really look anything like Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently it did reasonable numbers, but not numbers enough. So they tried again a year and a half later with another sort of feature-length pilot called The New Original Wonder Woman, starring the goddess that is Linda Carter. And that went out on the 7th of November, 1975. And that again did very well. 2 episodes, which kind of established the format for the TV series, were broadcast on the 21st and 28th of April, respectively, in 1976. And all these episodes so far were set during World War II. A series proper began on the 13th of October 1976 and concluded with an episode called Wonder Woman in Hollywood, which broadcast on the 16th of February 1977. So, during 1976, there was an awful lot of Wonder Woman on television set during World War II.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, we've done a couple of issues of Shazam recently, and we've talked there about how the Shazam comic was reformatted to slightly reflect the content of the Shazam TV series. So it's very interesting the same thing has happened to Wonder Woman. It's always fascinated me that they thought, right, we need to get people to read Wonder Woman. People might pick up the comic book based off the TV series. We should make it like the TV series.
Makes sense, yep.
Yep, and so they did. And we begin our coverage of all of this now with issue 228, published on the 18th of November, 1976. Which is good because the World War II episodes were still running at this point. It's not like the Shazam reformatting when they did it like a week after the last episode was broadcast. It's worth pointing out, of course, that the second and third series shifted it to contemporary 1970s America rather than set during World War II. And of course, the TV series was very successful. Linda Carter became associated with Wonder Woman to an astonishing degree, and very good fun it was too. We got over here on BBC One for quite a while, and it got repeated for years after it finished in the States.
Do you remember watching Wonder Woman when you were a boy?
Oh yeah, I remember it being on, definitely. I always remember the little green aliens.
Oh yeah.
With their sort of handguns that zapped red, yellow and white energy beams or something.
Yeah.
It was on Saturday tea times basically in the Doctor Who slot, wasn't it?
It certainly was.
Yeah.
It was wonderful stuff. I've got all 3 seasons in DVD, but I must admit I've not watched them since I got them. But I do remember that a lot of it was written by Lorenzo Semple Jr., who was one of the main writers of the Batman TV series and the writer of the Flash Gordon movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's definitely an ideal person to script this.
I've got them in DVD as well, and a few years ago I did actually start a watch through. I loved the World War II stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a feeling I got as far as starting season 3. But I think I told you about this. The longer it went on, she stopped wearing her glasses as Diana Prince, her secret identity.
Sure.
And so I got very annoyed at Diana Prince just cutting about looking like Wonder Woman and no one commenting on it.
Yes. No hip, no specs.
No. So I did kind of stall. I think I got as far as series 3. I was tweeting a gentle thread about it as I was going along, so I might go back and try and find out where I left off and continue at some point. I really should.
Excellent.
It'd be terrible to leave it unfinished, but it was very enjoyable. I mean, I'm sure it was on the same network as the Hulk TV show. I think they were on one after the other for a couple of years.
Oh, yeah. Possibly, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons why, the Doctor Strange pilot and the Captain America pilots didn't go to series was, I think it was CBS didn't want to be seen as the superhero network.
Sure, yeah.
Despite having two of the biggest shows in the world,
Oh, well, my goodness. No, fond memories. One day I will watch it again. One day.
The World War II episodes are fantastic.
Yeah.
They have captions coming up into the corner and all that. And Linda plays it completely straight, and they bring in Wonder Girl, and it's filmed in America in the 70s, but they do a reasonably good job of getting the clothes and the haircuts and the makeup and stuff sort of right,
Good.
It's not like when you watch A Christmas Story and it's supposed to be set in the 50s and the kid's mum's got a bubble perm. It's not like that. But it's definitely worth watching. I would encourage you to do so at your earliest convenience.
I should endeavour to do so, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Shall we jump into this issue?
Yes, well, we better get on with it after all that preamble. Listeners, did you watch the Wonder Woman TV show? Please email us at theearth2podcast@gmail.com, and Peter will print it out and photocopy it and post it to Kenny, and he'll scan it and send it and email it back to Peter at theearth2podcast@gmail.com, and then we'll read them out. But yes, issue 228, published November 76. Peter will tell us about the cover.
In the top left corner, it's a green DC bullet. In the top right corner, 30 cents, number 228, February. Production codes 30725. Approved, of course, by the Comics Code Authority. Now, is that a spotlight or a full moon, do you think?
I'm not sure. I think it's a very quick, simple cover, and they've put this circle in just to try and make it look slightly less minimal. But let's pretend it's a full moon, because it means we can all take a drink.
Yes. So, we have a deep purple cover with a massive white circle, which we are seeing is a moon. And this circle is highlighting 3 characters. On the left, we have Wonder Woman, and she is punching Wonder Woman, who's falling back. My goodness. Laughing in the background is a man in a red uniform. He seems to have a metallic face or mask. He's throwing his head back and he looks like he's laughing or smiling away. There's an arrow pointing at him saying, "Introducing the Red Panzer." And at the bottom, there's another splash that says, "The strangest Wonder Woman adventure ever." Gasp.
Gasp indeed. What's very interesting with this, I love a deep purple sort of cover, and that's not a reference to the band, but it's not there with that issue of The Flash where Barry's punching out the Reverse Flash. I think it's a great background colour. What's interesting is it's very difficult to tell the Wonder Woman apart. Yes. This continues into the story, sadly.
And we continue straight into the performances. Yay!
Yes. Yes, in advance, listeners, we have decided that I'm going to play the Earth 1 Wonder Woman the way I've always done her, with my attempt at a Gal Gadot impression. And I'm going to attempt a Linda Carter impression for the Wonder Woman of Earth 2 for the duration. Let's see if I remember to do that in subsequent episodes.
Linda Carter, if you're listening, please don't write in.
Or, Linda, if you are listening and want to voice yourself in these comics, please let us know as soon as possible, because we're going to do issue 229 next week, and that'll be great fun. It means we can organise the Zoom chat and get it recorded. Mm-hmm. So yes, it's an interesting cover. What I like about it, it doesn't give away the twist, which we've already alluded to in our pre-match discussion, but if you were looking at this, you'd just be sort of thinking, 2 Wonder Women?
Again?
Who's this guy in the military uniform with an iron cross at his neck? What could be going on? It's very enticing. So we jump in. Our opening splash image is a better shot of the chap that Peter described from the cover, wearing his red military tunic. We can see an SS badge at his collar. There's a skull. There's a black iron cross at his neck. There's a Nazi armband, a black swastika on a red background, blue armband on his left arm. I am trusting that Max and Rich will be letting us know if this is correct, if that's an accurate armband. Actually, now that I think about it, one of these Wonder Woman World War II stories would have been a good special missions episode on the Weird Warriors podcast, wouldn't it?
Yes, that's a good idea. Should let them know.
Boys, if you're listening, you know what we're saying. And this figure, we can see he's wearing a metal mask, but there are eyes looming through the eye holes. He's got a cliched German metal military helmet on. We can see another swastika on the wall behind him. And he's reaching out and grabbing towards two versions of Wonder Woman. One who's swinging in on her lasso, avoiding his right hand, and another one who appears to be dancing, busting a move, and she's dodging his left hand. Again, it is very difficult to tell the two Wonder Women apart. The Wonder Woman at the top of the image appears to have slightly curlier hair, so I'll maybe try and use that as we go. And as this is an opening establishing splash page, you'd expect a ton of captioning, and you're going to get a ton of captioning.
She's America's superheroine number 1, Wonder Woman. But which Wonder Woman, and of which America? For there is another United States in another plane of reality, an America of long ago and far away, when it faced the threats of world domination by Nazi Germany. In that America, 2 Wonder Women face off against a diabolical Nazi spy, and the free world will surely fall unless they can prevent the Red Panzer's retreat to tomorrow.
Then we get the credits for the issue.
Writer Martin Pascoe, artists Jose Delbo and Vince Coletta, colourist Liz Berube, letterer Milt Snapin, and story editor Denny O'Neil.
Oh, Denny O'Neil. We've not heard of him for a long time on this show. Ross doesn't like Vince Coletta. I'm sure there was something recently I was listening to and he talked about Coletta getting a hold of something and ruining it. It was very, very funny. Listeners, Ross and Kirby are currently reviewing the JLA Avengers series on Stop Let's Team Up. I would encourage you, if you have a few spare hours, to give them your time. It's very, very enjoyable, very, very funny. Right, plugs out the way. Over the page, there's some more captioning.
A routine day at Kennedy Airport in New York as a 747 departs on an equally routine flight. For now, the amazing Amazons' head-on collision with the most desperate struggle in the history of democracy is still a world away.
We then see a shot of Wonder Woman's invisible jet, her famous invisible jet, coasting through the same yellow sky as the 747, which we saw tee off in the previous panel. Why is the sky yellow? Who can say?
The flight of her invisible plane is also routine, as she cruises in the holding pattern awaiting clearance to land. Her presence in the area is mere happenstance. Her actions in the next 10 seconds will be more deliberate, for she is soon to be thrust into combat by the merciless hand of fate, in the form of a bizarre aircraft appearing out of nowhere.
Yes, because bursting through a cloud and flying towards the 747 is a weird aircraft. It's like a really pointy, very Jerry Anderson missile-type looking device, and it's popping through a cloud, hurtling towards the 747. Someone in the cockpit spots it and cries,
"What is it?"
And then someone else in the plane sees it too and says,
"It's coming straight at us." With blinding speed, the flying juggernaut hurtles into the airliner's flight path, and instantly the jet pilots take the only course open to them to avoid being hit.
Yes, the pointy, dark blue missile thing zooms under the aircraft. The aircraft kind of tries to raise itself up out of the way.
But in the next mind-numbing moment...
Yes, we see Wonder Woman in the cockpit of her invisible jet, spotting the 747, suddenly plummeting to the ground. Wonder Woman thinks, "Great hero! That jet had to go into a steep climb, but the pilots couldn't open up the throttle in time. They've stalled out their engines." She leaps outside the plane, standing on the wing. She stretches her lasso into a massive big loop, starts twirling it, thinking, "At this low altitude, a stall can only result in a nosedive, unless I could pull this baby out." And she incredibly, I can't believe I'm seeing this, lassos the nose, the front of the aeroplane, and she manages to arrest its fall and pull it back up again. There is a spectacular sound effect as she thinks, "Did it! Just as they got the engines going again."
Seconds later...
we see Wonder Woman still on the wing of her own jet, walking towards the weird pointy aircraft that we saw a moment ago, which is handily very close by. As she thinks, "I want words with the pilot of this thing, but I'd better get it out of the holding pattern first."
But a surprise awaits the Amazon princess as...
Yes, for she notices a very familiar, sadly, design on the tail of the aeroplane as she thinks, "A Nazi swastika? This is obviously a very advanced aircraft, so it's got to be the product of some neo-fascist movement. Or maybe someone's sick idea of a joke."
Perhaps not, Wonder Woman, as you would realize. Could you see inside the vessel at this moment?
Yes, for we see the guy in the red tunic with the SS badge and the Iron Cross and the helmet and the metal mask, which we get a much better look at here. We can see there's a little grill covering the mouth, and there's a definite nose shape to it. He's the guy in the cockpit, and he says,
Was ist? Du lieber Gott, ist ein Wunderfräulein.
Over the page, Wonder Woman is still standing at the back of this new pointy Nazi aircraft, and the man in red with the helmet is now climbing out of the cockpit, thinking,
The instruments show I have overtaken my target, and in the 1970s I am. But there cannot be a Wonder Woman here, certainly not one so young. This cannot be happening.
In the next panel, he is standing on top of the aircraft, not affected by wind or speed or anything, and he's turning round to face Wonder Woman, and he says,
An American trick, an illusion. The Red Panzer will not be deceived by illusions.
And then it seems like both of his hands light up and bullets are flying from them with an amazing sound effect and a caption that reads,
A hail of bullets burst from the stranger's fingertips.
And then we see Wonder Woman using her bracelets, of course, to deflect the bullets with some very satisfying
Zing, zing, zing.
sound effects as Wonder Woman says, I'll take your word for that, Panzer, or whoever you are, but let's get one thing straight. The real Wonder Woman can deflect your rapid fire, like so. An illusion couldn't. By the way, an illusion doesn't take offence at being shot at either. And she punches Red Panzer, knocking him back as he says,
This cannot be! To have survived the war and still be so young, so beautiful. The time scanner foretold nothing of this.
What is he talking about, listeners? Wonder Woman twirls her lasso as he continues.
Convinced I am of your authenticity, now that I see your magic rope.
Then you must also know how I can use it, to force you to give me the information I want. We pass a full-page advertisement for the Joker, advertising Hostess fruit pies. And then we pass the full-page house ad that advertised JLA 139 and DC Superstars number 12 starring Superboy. We refer you to, of course, an earlier episode of this podcast for JLA 139. Top of the next page, we seem to be missing a line because Wonder Woman is in the middle of saying, which means you probably have a counter-offensive. And indeed, Red Panzer fires at her again with a
Zat!
As he says.
A most admirable maneuver, Wonder Woman. If there was any doubt of your abilities, you have most effectively erased them. And now... But the sentence goes unfinished, as, in the next instant, from out of the same nowhere that spawned the Red Panzer himself, comes...
Yes, we see that what we thought previously was maybe a hole in the clouds was supposed to be a hole in the sky. For busting through this hole in the sky is what looks to me like a Green Lantern power ring construct.
Does indeed.
Is Hal Jordan going to turn up? Get Gav on speed dial? I wasn't expecting this. Both of the antagonists are still standing on Red Panzer's plane as this green glob starts to surround them both. Wonder Woman, noticing it, says, some kind of strange ray heading this way.
The grapple beam. I had almost forgotten. Like the jaws of a hungry shark, the unearthly beam's fingers snap shut, enclosing the rocketing vessel in an impenetrable shell.
Yes, we get a great sound effect, almost as if the rocketing vessel is trying to strain against it.
Dragging it to a muscle-wrenching stop.
Yes, and there is a very satisfying as the vessel comes to a stop, and then another even more satisfying
thud
as Red Panzer and Wonder Woman are knocked off their feet.
And before the Amazon Wonder's head can even begin to spin, the glowing emerald tendril retracts, drawing the otherworldly craft toward a shimmering rift in the very sky itself.
Yes, we see the shimmering rift, who of course supported menswear, blah, 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 is glowing green itself, and this green bubble that the Panzer's vehicle and Wonder Woman and Panzer have been caught in is now, indeed, as the caption says, accelerating towards this hole in the sky.
And, scant heartbeats later...
It looks as though they've come right out the other end of the hole. There's still this hole in the sky, there's still the green bubble of energy, but the Panzer's vessel, with Wonder Woman and Panzer clinging on for dear life, is now rocketing above a different bit of scenery. For Wonder Woman thinks, what in Hera's name? That hole? It must be some kind of space warp. We've just travelled from New York to Washington, D.C. in mere seconds. And my American geography is good enough to know that they are slightly further apart than it would take a few seconds. Wonder Woman turns to the Panzer. This doesn't make any sense. Any of it. Your uniform, your ship, both have Nazi insignias, and you keep babbling about the 1970s. Now we are here in Washington. Why? Why? I want some answers.
As do I, Amazon,
says the Red Panzer as he reaches forward and activates a lever in the cockpit of his vehicle. We can see a sign which reads,
Grapple beam disengage.
and an asterisk on the sign takes her to a caption.
Translated from the German by your friendly neighbourhood interpreter, Denny.
Wonder Woman walks towards Red Panzer as he's still reaching into the cockpit, and he says,
You are the Wonder Woman of 1976, but you also exist here, in my time period. And that is not possible, for just as no one can exist in two places at once, neither can a person coexist with herself in the past. Clearly I was correct about your being a trick.
And he's spun the wheel of the vessel now so that it tips upside down and Wonder Woman falls off. She plummets towards a newsstand as Red Panzer's words continue.
No matter. I have dispensed with the problem regardless.
And his little plane flies off as he says,
Farewell, woman.
and Wonder Woman continues to fall, and with an enormous
Splack!
she collides with the newsstand, shocking the young man who mans it, and she falls through it. It breaks, sending newspapers flying everywhere. She recovers herself slightly at the top of the next page, looking down at the headlines of the Washington Post in front of her, and she thinks, oh, that was some fall. I feel like somebody's been using my head for a soccer ball. I'd better call my plane and go after that. She sees the headline and thinks, Suffering Sappho! That headline! 1943? I've travelled to Washington and gone back in time? The headline for this Washington Post reads, FDR presents Purple Heart to Wonder Woman, and there's a photograph of Wonder Woman receiving the medal from the president. Our Wonder Woman's thoughts continue. This paper's crazy. I've never met President Roosevelt. Why, I wasn't even born in 1943. Wait a minute. She starts to flick through the newspaper. Her thoughts continue. Aha! Just as I thought. Because she's seen something else which has reassured her. The Green Lantern in that photo is not the GL from the Justice League. That's Alan Scott, the Green Lantern of the Justice Society. An asterisk interrupts the momentum here, takes her to a caption which reads,
Whose 1976 adventures you can catch in All-Star Comics, Denny. Or indeed, previous episodes of this podcast.
and of course further episodes of this podcast still to come.
Stay tuned.
Wonder Woman exclaims her realization. I'm on Earth too!
Yes, Earth 2. A parallel world similar to our own, but occupying another dimensional plane. On Earth 2, history paralleled that of Earth 1's. For example, the US and its past are essentially the same, but with a few subtle and remarkable differences. Superheroes did not appear on Earth 1 for 20 to 30 years after they appeared on Earth 2.
This whole page will make onto the socials, I feel, this week, listeners. The rest of the page is taken up with a glorious split panel image which shows, first of all, on the left, Earth 1, 1943, and it's just an image of the globe. But then, on the other side of the page, there is another globe, and a little scroll caption reading Earth 2, 1943, and we see images of the young Jay Garrick, Alan Scott, and Dr. Fate, looking very trim and healthy and muscular. And Dr. Fate has a weird green tint to his uniform. He doesn't look as blue as he should, which annoys me slightly, and I'm going to write a letter to Liz Berube as soon as we finish recording. Back on the other side, we see another globe, and a caption reading Earth 1, 1976, and there are shots of the Barry Allen Flash, the Hal Jordan Green Lantern, and our good pal, Green Arrow, Oliver Queen. And we see here that the two panels are sort of split by a line which has been identified as a dimensional barrier, and on the other side of this dimensional barrier, we again see the globe which is labelled Earth 2, 1976, and there's a slightly thicker set Jay Garrick, and a slightly thicker set Alan Scott, and a slightly rounder in the tummy Dr. Fate. And between all of this, there's a little sequence of black squares in the middle of the dimensional barrier. It looks like it's been shattered, and the little black squares continue across the dimensional barrier, leading from Earth 1 of 1976 to an arrow that points at Earth 2, 1943, and this is labelled Wonder Woman's Route. A nice, clever visual way of letting newbies to the whole parallel Earth concept understand what is going on. It's a good page, isn't it, PC?
Most certainly is, yes. I haven't done anything like this for a while.
Not since we did Flash issue 240 odd a few weeks ago.
Oh, that's true, yes.
But again, that was the first one we'd had in Yonks. So anyway,
Yeah.
when we started, right, listeners, I've said this before, when we started recording, in fact, before we even started our recording, in the tail end of the summer of 2019 when we began this endeavour. Peter and I said, we should remember and keep an eye out for all these similar sort of multiple Earth type things and keep them all together and build up an album of them. And have we done it?
No, we haven't. No.
Anyway, over the page.
Just then,
as Wonder Woman thinks to herself, first thing to do is contact a Wonder Woman of this world, and she's interrupted, her thoughts are interrupted because a very smart-looking man in a brown hat and a sort of purple bow tie approaches her and says,
"Hiya, Wonder Woman."
"Uh-oh, a local citizen. I'd better be discreet." And then the man is a bit startled as he says,
"Wait a minute. I just heard you give a speech on the radio, but not even you can be in two places at once."
Wonder Woman thinks, he's probably talking about my counterpart. And then she says, "Well, I taped that speech earlier today." And as she walks off, the man says,
"You taped it? Huh?"
She thinks, oops, I forgot tape recorders didn't come into wide usage until the 1950s. Tell that to the empty child Dr. Dancy's episodes of Doctor Who. Listeners? And then Wonder Woman says to the man, I mean, it's on a transcription disc. It's been recorded. Excuse me. And she walks off as the man watched her go, looking very puzzled indeed.
With that, the amazing Amazon ducks into a nearby woman's shop, where...
Yes, women's shop in inverted commas for some reason there, listeners. Did women not have shops in America in the 1940s? I don't know. Yes, it's obviously a clothing boutique of some description. We see Wonder Woman looking at a very attractive green outfit. There's a girl in a pink shirt behind the counter watching her as Wonder Woman examines this green outfit thinking, I'd better get myself some period costuming and stop running around attracting attention. I have a feeling that every time I open my mouth, I'll future shock somebody. Was that panel the inspiration for the long-lived Glasgow comic shop, Peter?
May well be. Who knows? If only Neil was still alive, we could have asked him.
I know. A slow dissolve and a caption.
Presently,
Wonder Woman approaches the sales girl, saying, I think this will fill my needs nicely, Miss, how much is it?
That's one of our more expensive items. $15.
The radio is playing behind the young lady at this point, and it's, shall we attempt to duet on this, Peter?
Okay.
He's
the Boogie Bugle Boy from Company B.
That was fun. A caption reads,
From a concealed pocket, Wonder Woman withdraws several coins, but before handing them to the sales girl...
Yes, she scratches the surface of the coin, scoring out the date as she thinks, thank Hera for Amazon fingernails. Amazon fingernails supported the Montrose Avenue at Manchester Uni in 1998. Her thoughts continue, it wouldn't do to give her currency that hasn't even been minted yet. Did we not talk about this somewhere else before? Money between Earths?
Yes, we have discussed this at length.
Yeah.
Serial numbers and currency and things being valid and things looking different.
Interesting. Wonder Woman takes a leave from the women's shop, carrying her outfit, which has been nicely packaged up. The sales girl says,
Toodaloo, Wonder Woman. Do come again.
And Wonder Woman, looking over her shoulder, thinking, gosh, she sounds awful old for a young sales girl, goes on to think, she calls $15 expensive. She's lucky she can't foresee inflation, 70s style. Oh, a little bit of socio-economic commentary going on there, listeners.
There we are.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen.
How things haven't changed.
And over the page, and passing a nice full-page advertisement for action-packed book and record sets, including characters such as Conan, Batman, and franchises such as Planet of the Apes and Space 1999 and the Fantastic Four and Incredible Hulk and Captain America and Spider-Man. Over a nice, beautifully rendered shot of somewhere in America with a tall, pointy monument and some low-flat structures, and all under a beautiful purple sky, some captioning reads,
But now, let us leave the thoughts of our anachronistic heroine and turn our attention to a place across the Potomac in Alexandria, Virginia. Specifically, a secret underground laboratory where broods the Red Panther.
Yes, we see the Red Panzer, and we can see a big swastika hanging off the wall, and we can see his little aircraft thing, which the perspective of this panel actually makes it look like it's just a model that he's standing next to. It's obviously supposed to be the case that he's standing close to us, and this is slightly further away. There's a huge portrait of Adolf Hitler on the wall, and the Red Panzer has taken off his mask. He's also stroking his pet cat, Brown Kitty, who's got in his arms, and he is saying,
Still am I troubled by the Wonder Woman's presence in 1976, Friedrich. But I must for the moment put aside this concern. Of greater importance is the fact that I must correct the flaw in mine ship. My determination will not waver. For great is mine dedication to the fatherland. More so than the Führer can know, Friedrich, mein little one. At least until successful I am. The High Command thinks me but a mere scientist, sent to America to design advanced espionage tools for our spies in Washington. But I, Helmut Streich, am a genius.
And we see a proper look at Helmut here, the Red Panzer, without his mask. Close-cropped white hair. He's a vicious scar running down the left side of his face. His left eye is just a white disc. It looks maybe he's lost it. Very scary-looking fellow. Friedrich looks all right, though. He's quite happy. The Red Panzer continues.
A technology far surpassing that now used by the Third Reich I have invented. But this I cannot tell mine superiors. They would think me mad.
And the next few panels are all surrounded by heavy black border as we go into flashback territory. Over a shot of Helmut looking at a screen showing some kind of, must be the D-Day landings, I think. He is reminiscing further as his caption narration kicks in.
For who among them would believe in the existence of mine time scanner, a device that can see into the future?
As he looks at the image on the screen, soldiers walking through the water, explosions going off, he thinks,
according to the scanner, the Fuhrer will lose the war. Allied troops will land on the beaches at Normandy on June 6, 1944. A date which will mark the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany, unless I can change the future.
Yes, and there's an asterisk in a caption which echoes what I've just said.
D-Day, as you may recall from your history books, Denny.
His narration resumes.
So I assume the identity of the Red Panzer, donning a metal costume, a suit of indestructible armor, stronger even than that of any panzer division. I then constructed the Panzer ship, an aircraft capable of flying through the time barrier into the future. It too is protected by mine special armor, making it virtually invincible.
And there's a shot of the Panzer ship, which I wish we'd known it was called that at the start. I could have said that instead of the vehicle. We see it taking off, creating lots of red smoke.
I set the timer of my remarkable grapple beam so that after 1 hour it would reach into the future, to pull me back into 1943 after I had completed my task of changing the course of history.
Yes, and we see there's a little gun-like device positioned behind where the Panzer ship takes off from, and it fires out this green beam, which we saw earlier. That's obviously following the ship. We cut back to the present, stroking Friedrich again. Helmut, the Red Panzer, continues.
But, I overshot the mark due to mechanical malfunction. And when the grapple beam drew me back here, it brought that verdammt Wonder Woman with me. However, one cannot exist in two places at once, and thus the future Wonder Woman and her present self will cancel each other out, and the Amazon will cease to exist.
Yes, at that point in the juncture, listeners, between this panel and the last, we have just vaulted past a whole 4 pages of advertisements. Unacceptable. He then, obviously, I think he's put Friedrich down because I can't see him in this panel. He raises his right fist, as I'm doing for the benefit of our YouTube viewers, and shaking it viciously to emphasise what he's saying. He continues.
Now I am free of her interference, free to correct my vessel's flaw and attempt again to venture into the future. And this time, the Red Panzer will not fail.
There's a slow dissolve and a caption.
Obviously, the Red Panzer is under the mistaken impression that there is only one Wonder Woman. A mistake he could correct, could he witness a certain drama about to unfold.
Yes, listeners, take 3 drinks because we see Wonder Woman standing in an alleyway. We can see 3 trash cans, 3 rubbish bins. She's about to get changed into her new outfit, and she's thinking, I'll switch to these civvies and... Hey? Her thoughts are interrupted because we hear a scream. Wonder Woman rushes from the alleyway. Take a drink, there's a fire hydrant. She's left her dress behind. A little girl falling into the road as Wonder Woman thinks... That little girl must have fallen while trying to retrieve her ball. The ball is green, it is bouncing away. Wonder Woman's thoughts continue. That oncoming car will flatten her. The little girl screams again. Unless I provide a detour, says Wonder Woman, and she leaps into the way of the car, and crouching down, the car seems to drive up her back. We get an astonished from the driver of the car. The ball bounces off, the little girl runs and grabs it. She runs off, relieved, saying, Mommy, Mommy, Wonder Woman saved me. And as Wonder Woman sets the car back down on the ground, another voice says from off camera, Well, someone did, but it certainly wasn't Wonder Woman. And as we turn the page, we see another Wonder Woman, slightly shorter hair, I think, more of a curl to it, stepping off the pavement, walking towards our Wonder Woman. She continues, saying, That was a very impressive trick, miss. Suppose you explain how you did that. Our Wonder Woman turns, Huh? she says.
Without an instant's hesitation, the Earth One Wonder Woman's lithe and supple form springs into action.
And she leaps forward and grabs the arm of the new arrival, saying, "I don't know why you're attacking me, Diana." The new arrival says questioningly, "Diana? Attacking?" As our Wonder Woman continues, "But if you force me to fight back, I will." And she flips the new arrival over her shoulder, flying her through the air, so she collides with an enormous... with a mailbox. That's a very nice thing to see. The new arrival, as she collides with the mailbox, says, "But it was you who attacked me. Perhaps my suspicions about you are correct. Perhaps you are a Nazi spy, because the way you distort the truth makes Joseph Goebbels sound like George Washington." She hurls the mailbox at our Wonder Woman, who deflects it with her wristbands and a
Bash!
sound effect as it collides, and thinks, "Merciful Minerva, she doesn't seem to know who I am. Why doesn't she recognise me?" And you're going to love the next panel, listeners. As Wonder Woman does a smashes the palm of her hand into her forehead as she thinks, "Of course, the first contact between Earth 1 and Earth 2 is still at least 20 years in the future. She doesn't know me because we haven't met yet." And an asterisk takes you to a caption which reads,
The Amazon counterparts met in Justice League issue 100. Denny, or indeed one of the epic episodes of our podcast.
Yes, I can't remember them having too much of a conversation, though, to be honest.
They didn't really.
We probably moaned about that at the time.
I'm sure we did. Check out our episodes and tell us.
Yes, listeners, it was also compiled into a handy, epic, long compilation omnibus episode when Peter didn't have his voice that time a couple of years ago. Anyway, the captioning continues.
Struggling to reach an understanding, the Amazon princess rushes toward her lookalike with a desperate plea.
"Please, you must listen to me," the other lady says. "I really hate to do this, miss whoever you are, but as with most people here in man's world, the only language you seem to understand is this." And she punches Wonder Woman with a
Baff!
And the E1 Wonder Woman goes flying back into the alleyway where she collides with one of the dustbins. Take a drink. Wonder Woman of Earth 2 starts to twirl her lasso as she walks towards her counterpart, saying, "Now, I want to know a few things, like how you know my name is Diana. Once I snare you with a magic lasso, you'll be compelled to tell the truth." And our Wonder Woman, lying between two dustbins, take a drink, thinks, "Thank Hera. It's about time."
Thus, Wonder Woman relates her story, and because of the Golden Robe's hypnotic powers, her Earth 2 counterpart is forced to believe her.
Yes, we see Wonder Woman of Earth 1 concluding, "So you see, there are two Earths. That's incredible. Now, I'm really sorry about our, misunderstanding." Getting to her feet, Wonder Woman of Earth 1 puts her hands on the shoulders of Wonder Woman of Earth 2 and says, "Forget it. After all, I threw the first punch. Tell you what you can do for me, though. Help me find my way back where I belong." "That shouldn't be too hard. You mentioned the Red Panzer. Well, I've been tracking him for weeks, and only just located his hideout a day ago. I'll take you there."
And within the hour...
Yes, we're back at Red Panzer's HQ, and the hatch in the wall where he would fly the Panzer ship from is open. Two Wonder Women flying through the open hatchway, and Earth 2 Wonder Woman says, "Hurry, Diana, we're in luck, nobody's home." E1 Diana says, "I still don't understand how coming here is going to help me. It's simple. You'll go back the same way you came, via the Panzer ship."
Under the penetrating scrutiny of two Amazon intelligences, the Panzer ship's mechanism surrenders its secrets momentarily.
And we see Wonder Woman of Earth 1 safely ensconced in the cockpit of the Panzer ship. As Wonder Woman of Earth 2 stands on the ground beside her, Wonder Woman of Earth 1 says, "I don't feel good about leaving you here to face the Panzer alone." "Don't worry about it. He's my concern. Besides, I was ready to move against him today anyway, whether you'd come along or not." And with a big roar of engines, the Red Panzer ship takes off, and Wonder Woman of Earth 1 flies away. We are left with the Wonder Woman of Earth 2, who says, "Farewell, my sister of another world. May the bright beings behold you on your journey, and Godspeed."
Suddenly...
Wonder Woman, here! No! Having ruled out the possibility of your appearance on my ship being an illusion, there can be but one alternative. You are dead. You cannot be here.
Yep, Red Panzer has come back. We see his left hand as he fires a blast at Wonder Woman.
Zat!
And seems to blow a hole in the wall. Wonder Woman ducks out of the way. Leaping over some equipment, she drops towards Red Panzer saying, "Sorry, my scientist friend, but that hypothesis is so ridiculous, it doesn't even deserve being tested." She drops towards Red Panzer as he fires another blast at her again as he says,
No, You are dead, I tell you, dead!
There's a great shot of Wonder Woman kicking Red Panzer in the face now with a
What?
sound effect as she says, "Surely, Panzer, there are some things you can accept on faith." He slaps her with a
Thwack!
In the next panels he says,
I caution you, Fräulein. There is only one thing more hateful than a woman who attempts to be clever. And that is a woman who fails to show proper respect for her betters.
"Oh, I don't like this guy." He reaches towards Wonder Woman, but she drops to the ground and kicks up at him with an astonishing
Quam!
Yes, it's a spelling of quam with an H in the middle. Ken what?
The heck I mean.
Yeah, that works. As she does this, she says, "I'll have to remember that if I ever meet a better." They both get to their feet. He lifts up a piece of equipment above his head. He says,
Thus far I have been merely toying with you, Fräulein Wonder Woman. But the times for games has come to an end. You see, this suit of armor gives me such powers and abilities as you cannot imagine. Not the least of which is this tremendous strength.
and he brings the big box of equipment down on Wonder Woman. She manages to deflect it slightly with her wristband, which is a great sound effect. She gets to her feet. He exclaims,
Gott den Himmel! Still you stand!
She lassos him, saying, "Obviously, Herr Stryker. By the way, I'd love to see the rest of your powers and abilities that are supposed to stagger my imagination. But I'm a little short on time right now. I have pressing business awaiting in Washington, so if you'll just come along quietly." And he's completely lassoed and tied up, and his eyes are wide and staring as he says,
Yes, quietly, must come. Something compels me.
and a caption reads,
And so, a battle ends. Or does it? For neither Wonder Woman nor her opponent have noticed that one of the Panzer's earlier ray blasts jarred the delicate timer on the grapple beam projector, inadvertently activating it.
Yes, we great shot of the timing mechanism of the grapple device, tick-tocking away, and then we shift and a caption reads,
Meanwhile, the Earth-1 Wonder Woman has returned home, having left the Panzer ship's controls set for June 6th, 1944, so that once more the vessel would malfunction, overshooting its target and breaking through the dimensional barrier into Earth-1.
and we see Wonder Woman returning to her invisible jet with the Panzer plane flying along beside her.
As she leaps to her own plane, she cannot look behind her to notice the grapple beam seizing the Panzer ship again.
And yep, the grapple beam, like the Green Lantern energy bubble thing it looks like, reappears, grabbing the Panzer ship, pulling it back.
Nor can she know the danger awaiting her counterpart back on Earth 2.
Yes, we see the Panzer ship rocketing back to its launch bay as the Wonder Woman of Earth 2 is walking along with Red Panzer lassoed behind her. Wonder Woman is saying, "It's only a matter of time before the rest of your spy cohorts are apprehended, Herr Stryker." But she's interrupted, and so are we, with a caption which reads,
Without warning, the time ship returns, with a disastrous result.
Yep, it flies back in and slots into place, and Wonder Woman hasn't been paying attention. Her peripheral vision must be rubbish because one of the wings of the plane clips her with a
Kabam!
and she can only exclaim, "Ah!" as she lets go of the lasso, and Panzer roars and says,
Ja, Fräulein, you're quite correct. It is only a matter of time. Ha 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 ha!
and a caption concludes things and reads,
Next, the Panzer's mysterious powers revealed and unleashed as the age of the new original Wonder Woman begins with a bang in issue 229. On sale June 3rd week in December.
Yes, and we'll be doing issue 229 next week, listeners. Don't you worry.
Round of applause there for the many voices of David Steele doing Wonder Woman and trying to make it as different as possible for your listening pleasure.
I hope that worked, yes. We'll give the Earth 2 Wonder Woman a slightly American accent, which I think she probably would have done, so she would have fitted in with everyone a bit more.
Yes, that would make sense.
During Earth 2 World War 2. This was almost like the bi-generation at the end of the Doctor Who 60th anniversary episode, wasn't it, Peter?
Yes, I can see exactly what you mean. Yeah.
As we start with one Wonder Woman, and then another Wonder Woman turns up, and then the original one goes off,
Yep.
probably never to be seen again, and we are left with the new arrival and continue with their adventures. That's where obviously where they got the idea for what they did with DT and Shudigatwa.
There you go. Russell T. Davis, if you're listening, please write in and let us know.
Actually, we could probably just get Kenny to email him and ask him.
We could.
Kenny, please do that for us, please. Listeners, as we record, We are 2 days away from Kenny's birthday, so happy birthday, Kenny, if you're listening.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
It's a song out of copyright. I can't remember quite now.
Yes, go and listen to the Doctor Who podcast, Power of Three and Pieces of Eight, and we love Kenny and everything. Right, anyway. Yeah, what are your thoughts then, Pete?
It was a fun runaround. I like the Red Panzer. He's very Doctor Doom, isn't he?
Yeah, I suppose he is, actually, yeah.
He's like Red Skull meets Doctor Doom. He actually gave me very big Iron Dictator vibes. Remember the Iron Dictator from the Challengers to the Unknown story?
Of course.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
Very much that sort of vibe, which is great. Well, great in a good bad guy sense.
Yes.
But yeah, the fact he's like a super scientist, he does kind of like have the mask of Doctor Doom. It is very similar to that. And
yeah, absolutely.
it's got that grill across the mouth.
That's a great comparison, saying that.
Yeah.
The cross between Red Skull and Doctor Doom is perfect. I like that a lot.
Yeah. It's weird because in some panels you see two eyes, and in other panels you just see the one eye with the white clouded eye of his scarred side of his face. When he's wearing the mask, it's odd.
Yeah, that makes me think maybe the mask has a fake left eye sort of thing going on.
Oh, maybe. Vanity, or is it functional? Who knows? He is a super scientist after all.
I think it is vanity. I think it's just like, it's like Shara's Jack, isn't it? Maybe it's like Shara's Jack. He's got a
gasp.
He's got a fake left eye thing going on to cover his own lost eye. No, I liked it too. It was for a very high concept setup. It was done very economically. It was done very straightforwardly. Yeah. I loved all of the what do you mean taped stuff?
Yeah.
I liked her sort of working out where she was by looking at the newspaper. That was joyous. We haven't had too many Earth 1, Earth 2 sort of crossover stories latterly.
No.
So I really dug that. I really liked that whole part of her figuring out where she was because she saw the photograph of Alan Scott.
Yeah.
That was genius. Well done, Marty Pascoe. Very satisfying.
This is kind of like the flip side of the recent Two Flashes and Abracadabra story, because there's time travel and parallel Earth accidental shiftage in that as well.
Yes.
And again, someone confused about what world they're on and misunderstandings, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Funny, it comes hot on the heels of that. It's quite fun.
It's interesting that Red Panzer, the self-proclaimed scientific genius, without realising it, has manufactured a device which was supposed to travel through time, but instead travels through time and punctures the vibrational barrier between Earth 2 and Earth 1.
Mm-hmm.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Because it feels like a long time. It's maybe not, as you say, we had that Abracadabra story. But it's nice to get another accidental bursting of the dimensional void type situation, dimensional veil, because we haven't had anything like that for ages.
Yeah, true. And I like the way the Amazons combined the technological abilities to program the Panzer ship. So it went to the original destination that was planned, the D-Day landing, because obviously there was a fault in the ship, which took it to Earth 1 in 1976. So yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, because when we're recording, listeners, I did not understand what the captioning was saying at all.
Yeah.
About why Wonder Woman had set it, etc. I was just like, what? Well, why, if she's set what? Like, eh? And I'm still not entirely convinced, but I'm very tired, so I'm using that excuse.
Yeah.
No, it's interesting because that suggests that even if he does try to use it again, it's not going to work and take him to where he wants to go to. It's just going to, whatever he sets it for, it's not going to take him to June 1944 or whatever. It's, there must be some, maybe it's the Time Lords. Maybe the Time Lords are stopping him. Talking about Doctor Who far too much today, listeners. I apologise.
Maybe if he tried to use it again, he'd end up on Earth 3 and he could be a hero there.
Wow.
They would love him in Earth 3.
That's very interesting. That's a thought, isn't it?
Or indeed Earth X.
Gosh, yeah, and he could
now
mop
that
up
Freedom
because
Fighters
the Freedom
aren't there.
Jinx. Yes, exactly. Go on.
Now that the Freedom Fighters aren't there, it's ripe for the picking.
Yeah.
As far as he's concerned. Yeah, interesting.
Which means we should probably have another Wonder Woman and Freedom Fighters crossover.
That should have led into that, yeah.
I really like it. I mean, as a sort of pilot change of the status quo, it's very, very well done because obviously we're still going to see the Earth 1 Wonder Woman in the pages of Justice League.
Yeah, true.
For the duration. And this basically runs for about, a year and a half, 2 years worth again in the pages of Wonder Woman. We're going to do the sort of combination of reading and summaries a little bit as we do them, listeners. If prominent characters are featured, we'll probably read them properly. If, there are two sort of stories that don't feature regular JSAs or big bads, we'll maybe just condense and, summarise them as we go. We'll see how it goes. But I'm actually, now that we've read this one and recorded this one, I'm very much looking forward to doing the rest of these stories. I love that setup. I bought this comic, again, decades ago and I hadn't read it before this afternoon. I'm terrible. I've read some of the other ones in the run, but I loved the just the simplicity of the setup. It was so
Sure.
gracefully done, and I liked the bit when Earth One Wonder Woman is saying, like, are you all right with me just, bogging off,
Yeah.
as it were? And Earth 2, Diana, but it's fine, forget about it. All that was great. One thing, though, I didn't like is the fact that they're, apart from slightly different lengths of hair, their costumes are identical, are they not,
Yeah.
in the story?
Yeah. Which shouldn't be the case in 1940s Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
She should be wearing those baggy shorts or skirt.
Yeah, obviously we're a couple of years away from when the Earth One Wonder Woman gets her sort of chest plate redesigned, but I think if they'd given her the baggy shorts or the skirt, that would have made it slightly easier to tell them apart.
Yeah.
But it's clear enough in the narrative who's doing what and stuff, and
Yeah,
it's not too bad. But I think a little bit more of a retro styling on Earth 2 Diana would have been amazing. It's fascinating to think, was this the Earth 2 Wonder Woman that we were seeing dramatised on television?
Looks like it. Certainly the World War II adventures.
It must be Earth. What year did I say it started in? 1975. So I guess the TV series must be Earth. Let's give it the designation Earth 75.
Let's go for that. What I found fascinating was Earth 1 Wonder Woman saying that she hadn't even been born in 1943. So the immortal Amazons on Paradise Island Hippolyta had only just made her out of clay recently, as far as, things are concerned. She hadn't been, there for centuries, which kind of, is how modern continuity looks at her.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. That line gave me pause as well.
Yeah.
Because my remembrance of Wonder Woman continuity is a bit foggy. I can't remember a lot of it and stuff.
Yeah.
Are both Wonder Women born of clay at this point in the continuity? I can't remember.
Yep.
Right, that's fine then.
That didn't change until the New 52, and then
Right.
I think that's been retconned since, I believe. I could be wrong.
Oh, gosh. It's a good thing that we're only stopping at the crisis, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a good thing that we're not going any further and talking about the rest of it, because frankly...
Before we jump ahead to the letters, there's one more point I'd like to make, and that is I loved how when the two Wonder Women first met, it was a typical, misunderstanding, bit of a fight, but they solved it in the most Wonder Woman way. It's like, I surrender to you, put the lasso on me, and I'll tell you the truth, obviously.
Yes.
That was beautiful. I genuinely loved that. It's something that's completely different from any other hero at the time. It's just a wonderful touch. It was really nicely done.
Agreed, strong agree. Yeah, I mean, it's perfectly logical. It's the most sensible way that they could have done it. And yeah. And it's good that they stopped fighting and decided to team up.
Yay! Another reference there.
Another reference to a friend with another podcast. There we go. That's what we're all about this week. So, jumping forward then to issue 231, which is one that I'm very much looking forward to covering on the show. We go to Wonder Words.
There's only one letter in issue 231, and it says, Dear Editor, surprisingly enough, Wonder Woman issue 228 was fantastic. I really loved the issue. The script was quite good, and the art was pretty decent.
God damn me with faint praise, eh?
The major point of the issue, the transition from new to new original, came off incredibly well. The manner in which our Diana was taken into the past was very good. I especially liked the fact that she didn't even realise that she'd been totally taken from her Earth, and by the way, that was a good idea, definitely distinguishing which Wonder Woman is to be featured from now on. I was pleasantly surprised to see that you're using the original Earth 2 Wonder Woman, and that comment's from Scott R. Taylor from Portland.
Editorial response, there you have it, our first rave on the new Wonder Woman. We'll be back next issue with a full page of controversy over Wonder Woman's new direction. Until then, your reactions to this issue are eagerly awaited at the address atop this page. See you next month. Yes, issue 231. God, actually, we'll have to get Rich on the phone as well, because Sandman's in that one. So that's Rich, Steve, and Ross. We'll need to get...
Yep.
You and I will have to divvy up Mr. Terrific and the Atom between us. Right.
There we are.
Moving to issue 232. First letter. Oh, it's from an old friend. Dear Denny, I'm extremely pleased to see the superheroine #1 now coming to us on a monthly basis. This factor, coupled with the realisation that Wonder Woman now has a definite purpose and legitimate drive, may gather even greater success for the character. Ever since Wonder Woman ended her 11-issue bid for re-entry into the JLA, the mag has lost its concerted effort for continuing quality. All subsequent issues have rambled terribly, but I'm sure that that's all behind us now. In fact, I think perhaps that at long last you really have found the new original Wonder Woman, and I'm very excited. And that's from regular correspondent Scott Gibson, Evergreen, Colorado.
Next letter says, Just what do you think you're doing to Wonder Woman? I just got issue 228 and had a fit. I don't mean to be rude, but if this is what new Wonder Woman editor calls Wonder Woman, you can give him a kick in the seat for me. And that's from Amy Blinson
Yes.
from Naperville, Illinois.
Naperville, Illinois, Steve, you know what to do. Next letter reads, I must say this latest incarnation of Wonder Woman is the best yet. The artistic style is simple, clean and beautiful. Plots are clever and consistently good. At the present rate, this character may soon achieve the complexity and fullness of Superman himself. I feel certain that Charles Moulton would be proud. Other WW readers may be interested to know that a Wonder Woman Linda Carter fan club, endorsed by the actress herself, does exist. Anyone desiring information on this may write to Dr. Fred R. Eichelman, Howard Drive, Salem. Oh my goodness. He sounds legit, doesn't he, listeners? That missive is from Steve Stanley, Bowman Street, Roanoke, Virginia.
Yeah, I'm surprised that's actually not from Dr. Fred Eichelman, but never mind.
Yes, made up name.
The next letter says, brickbats, and more brickbats. This is the stupidest thing DC has done in ages. This is truly the worst thing to happen to Wonder Woman since I Ching. This has ruined my whole day, even my Thanksgiving, and probably my Christmas too, says Phil Matrali from Union, New Jersey.
Calm down, Phil. It's a great idea. They've done it for marketing reasons to tie into the TV show. It makes obvious sense. A little heading now reads, Great minds thing in the same channels department, and the first short letter reads, Wonder Woman 228 was a tragedy. At least you can print some stories of the Earth 1 Wonder Woman and World's Finest. World's Finest about to become a dollar comic. I will post World's Finest becoming a dollar comic house ad at some point in the socials round about now. That short one is from Michael Resnick, Evanston, Illinois. Next one goes like this.
As long as there will be a Wonder Woman slot in World's Finest, why not give it to the Earth 1 heroine, says old pal Bob Rohde from Dayton, Ohio.
The next one has another little subheading which reads, Great minds think, etc. Department Part 2. Wonder Woman's costume was slightly different in 1943, but different just the same, says Anthony Mitzi of New York, New York.
Next letter, you goofed! Wonder Woman Earth 2 had shorts instead of hot pants. She also had curly hair, and the belt didn't have the point in the lower part of it, says David Riley from North Quincy, Massachusetts.
The next little subheading reads, Answered Prayers Department, and this letter reads, Now for some suggestions. Occasional guest shots by the young members of the JSA, and that's from Al Schroeder II, Nashville, Tennessee.
And last letter says, I was truly overjoyed to see that Wonder Woman would once again be the new original Wonder Woman. Really, you have a fantastic comic. I am glad to see that heroes are not gone. And that's from John Neal from Lexington, Kentucky. And editorial response to all of that. Whew. Nothing like a change in editorial approach to spark reader reaction. In response to this rambling, random sampling, number 1, the idea of running an Earth 1 Wonder Woman series is considered unwise, as it would probably confuse the new reader. Number 2, we're aware of the art error vis-a-vis costumes in issue 228. Sorry, as you've seen, it was rectified over subsequent issues, including the colouring mistakes. And number 3, we trust those dozens of you who suggested stories featuring the Cheetah and the JSA have been satisfied by issues 230 to 232.
Yes, a little dip into the future there, listeners. Go and grab those issues from your local reputable back issue dealer if you haven't done so already.
And the editorial concludes, we're out of space and left with nothing more to say than we await your reactions to the Wonder Woman teaming of Mike Nasser and Vinnie Coletta. Your comments may be sent to the address at the top of this page. Until next time, may the bright beings behold you.
Yes. Another little glimpse into presumably a change in the art team. Well, I was kind of low-key dreading starting this run of Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I think that's the trickiest one out the way, I'll be honest. Yeah.
I was thinking, oh, here we go. But no, I really enjoyed it. It was very fresh. It was very clear. Despite what a lot of the correspondents are saying at the time, I think it's a genius idea. It makes perfect sense. You're going to get new people picking up the comic.
Exactly.
And it makes sense to have it set in the time period the TV show is set in. It's like the way that the Doctor Who comic strips, the contemporary comic strips in Doctor Who magazine, for the most part, when there was a current series, featured the current Doctor. You know, you're going to expect to see it. It's lots of Doctor Who references this week. Sorry if you don't like Doctor Who.
If you do like Doctor Who, you should check out the Wonderful Power of Three podcast, hosted by friend of the show, Kenny Smith, and quite often co-hosted by co-host of this show, David Steele.
Yes, and also check out Piece of Eighth. And also, actually, while we're on the subject, you should check out Gallifrey's Most Wanted, the Doctor Who podcast feed from friend of the show, Ross Aitken, who's also getting lots of shout-outs this week.
Absolutely.
Yes, well, I'm very excited to to record issue 229 and see what happens next to Wonder Woman and Red Panzer. Are you, Peter?
Yes.
Excellent.
Listeners, are you very excited? Why don't you write to us and let us know? You can email us at theearth2podcast@gmail.com. Make sure you follow us on social media because there'll be lots of lovely bonus material going up for this episode and indeed every episode. We're at the Earth 2 Podcast on Facebook, Instagram and Blue Sky, and on Twitter we're at podcast_Earth2, and it is of course the number 2 for all of our socials.
It certainly is. What have I got this week? I think I've got a Daily Planet and some foreign covers. Yes, make sure you check out the socials, listeners. Yeah, right. Nothing else to be said. Go and find a copy of 229 and we'll see you back here in a week.
On that World War II bombshell, I've been Peter.
And I've been David. Take care. We'll see you very soon on the
Earth 2
Podcast.
Transmatter Cube activated. Return coordinates set for Earth Prime.
She's America's superheroine number 1, Wonder Woman. But which? But which Wonder Woman? And of which America?
Do it with a high pitch. That was really good. I better get myself some period costuming and stop running around attracting attention. I have a feeling that every time I open my mouth, I'll future so. I have a feeling every time I open my mouth, I'll make a mess of things.